Hey, good morning. Yes, it is. It is Monday, March 17th. Up and at 'em, guys. Time to get to work, right? Or walk out into your shop and get to work. So, what are we going to be talking about today? Well, it's something that's been on my mind, and I post on my Facebook feed, thoughts of the day, kind of. And today I just wanted to have it be a continuance over of why people do the things they do. That's got you thinking. Alrighty, welcome back. My name is Eric, if you didn't already know it. And yes, this is the weekday, Monday through Friday. Today is Monday, March 17th, 2025. So the main point of my post on Facebook today was, we spend a lot of time on whether it's, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, X, Snapchat, TikTok. But one of the things that has been constantly coming up in my feeds, and maybe you've seen him as well, and I think his name is Josh, is that he goes into local area restaurants, fast food joints, and asks how much one plate is, and then says he'll take 100 or 1,000, and pays the restaurant or fast food place for the meals, and then goes out and gives them to the homeless. Now, that looks all great and good, right? I actually shed a few tears watching the first couple. But as time went on, I continued to watch these feeds that kept showing up. And you know how Facebook is, or YouTube is, if you watch a certain style video, whether it be a short or long version, they tend to put in front of you more of the same to keep you on their venue, right? Because the longer they can keep you on the venue, the more money they can make off ads. That's how the world turns, right? That's business. But the more I watched, the more I started looking at what's really going on here. And I think that it may have started out, really good, because it gave me a sense that people still are generous, that the generosity in this world is still present, that people do want to help others. But then as it continued on, he was feeding a lot of the same homeless each episode. But not only was he feeding the homeless, he was feeding what I think are not homeless people that had forgotten to tuck their name badge under their shirt that was hanging off a lanyard. If you got a name badge and a lanyard, pretty confident you have a job. And I'm not saying that you have a job where you have lots of money, because there's a lot of people out there with jobs, and especially with the economy the way it's been the last couple of years, they just don't have a lot of extra disposable income to go buy a piece of pizza or have lunch. I understand that. But in doing that video, I would be conscious of who was getting the food. And I wouldn't have the same people over and over getting the food. Because it brought to my mind, what's better, to give a person a fish or to teach them how to fish? And it's always been to teach them how to fish, because then they can catch the fish for themselves, which means if you get a job, go to work, good chances are you will get the income coming in to be able to not be homeless. And I know that a lot of people that are homeless are ones that have mental health issues, are ones that are vets that came back and couldn't cope, or families that got split up and the wife and kids ended up in a shelter. I get it, But my tendency is I look at human nature and say, what's in it for them? I know it's pessimistic at times, and it's not meant to be. It's just, I want to know, what's your payoff? What are you getting out of it? So as I continued to be onslaughted from Facebook and YouTube with a lot of these same videos, a few things came to mind. One being, this guy had over 1 million followers on a lot of the venues, okay? And he had millions of views. And if you know anything about YouTube, Facebook, they will pay you to put ads on your content. Yeah. If you can get over a certain amount of subscribers and a lot of views, it could add up to some pretty hefty change, right? So I'm looking at it and I'm saying, well, if he's doing this on YouTube and Facebook, he's getting a pretty good hefty chunk of change from both venues for posting this content on both. I'm not so sure on Twitter, Snapchat, and X because I'm not really present on those venues. But I do know that with YouTube and Facebook, that is the case. So he's getting something back from it, all right? He's getting paid from the venues. He's also getting paid from the generosity of other people that have watched his videos, of them sending him money, whether it's Vero, GoFundMe, what have you. But I truly believe that the money he's receiving from the generosity of others that are watching the videos, I don't think he puts any of that money in his pocket. I don't think, that it's theft or nothing like that. I think that he's truly using that money to try to help others. And what started out to be a great thing to do has now turned into employment. And in the beginning, the restaurants that didn't know him, that would say, I'll do half with you, or they would give him extra and say, this is on us to feed the homeless. Priceless. The ones that know who he is, when he comes through that door and says the same thing with the cameras rolling over his shoulder, not so priceless. Because as the guy gets done with the restaurant that gave him all that food, he says, give this business some love, which means more business. So you can afford to lose $1,000 in food to gain $100,000 in income. A lot of us here are business people, right? So do the math. It's worth it to do that. But I'm more interested in the people of what they do when the camera is off and when no one is looking. Those people tend to rate higher in my book. And I know a lot of you that are on this channel feel the same way, other than Amos. I'm just kidding, Amos. But if you saw somebody that truly was in need, you would give them the hand up. No questions asked. There have been jobs that we took on that I could see the guy was beat or the gal was beat. by the weight of the world on their shoulders. They were scraping just to get by, and they needed us to come fix something, or they brought something to us to fix. And I've told them no charge. And it's not because I like the fact that Claude and I are working for free. No. It's the fact that I saw in him trying to get ahead. And he just needed someone to give him a break. As small a break as it was, my payoff was a smile. And feeling like somebody else understood his struggles or her struggles. If you're looking for something in return, other than how you feel inside, I guess is questionable. I know people have ulterior motives every day of the week of why they do the things they do, right? But a lot of you are in business. And I'm talking in your business life and in your private life. Are you that generous person that I think you are? And you don't need to tell us how you are generous, because I know you're a generous bunch that's here. Please send your money to me. I'm just kidding. But I know the caliber of the people that come to this channel, and they got the biggest hearts out there. The biggest hearts that do things for other people with expecting nothing in return. That's how I approach life, is if there's something that I can do for somebody else to make their life better, and usually most of the time it doesn't require a lot of my time or effort, I do it. I'm not saying, you need to be a generous person and start handing out money to the people that, you think need it. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that smile sometimes at the old codger like me standing in the line, or telling that person that is at your supermarket that's doing checkout that looks like she or he is run ragged, thank you so much. You have a great day. And watch them smile. Because they've been dealing with people bitching and complaining most of the days. So when someone tells them to have a great day and smiles at them, it perks them up. How much did that cost you? Not much. But those acts of generosity are priceless. And what I tend to see is people, if they see you do a kind gesture, and I'm not saying do it, go out and do it in front of other people, not even close. But what tends to happen is if someone sees somebody else do something, an act of kindness out of generosity, it's kind of catchy. And then that person does it for somebody else. You see it all the time with paying it forward, right? Where somebody will pay forward somebody else's meal behind them that needs a good cup of coffee or needs a good something to eat, what have you. It's just something to think about. I know this video is today's episode's kind of deep, but yesterday I kind of concentrated on business for Sunday, so. And then the other thing that's been on my mind for a long time, and that is, when I say a long time, most of you know I had quadruple bypass and I was lost on the table for 7 minutes with no oxygen. But if you had 5 minutes to live, starting now, who would you want to live it with? Who would you want to be with? And why do I ask you that question? I ask you that question because when was the last time you were around that person? When was the last time you told them how you feel when you're with them? When was the last time you told them how much you cared about them? We think that life is infinity, right? And it's not. It's just a fraction of time on the timeline. 1 minute you're 17, and the next minute you're 62. And you wonder where all that time went. You will be a much happier and more fulfilled person if you let the people around you know how you feel and how important they are to you. Because you never know when that last 5 minutes will be up. A fatal car crash, a heart attack, a stroke. You never know. And I'm not saying, and I'm not promoting stalking. If you're thinking of somebody that you've never met and you think that I'm telling you to start stalking them, no, don't. This video is not to promote stalking of anybody else. I'm talking about somebody that you know. You may not have seen him for a while. It could have been your best friend in high school. It could be your best friend in high school. Could be your spouse. But it's a deep question that you have 5 minutes to answer. And usually the first person that pops into your mind is the correct answer. So that's just something to think about. When was the last time you told them you cared? And for you folks out there that continue to give generously, and I'm not saying large chunks of your pay and this and that. Sometimes it's just a smile. Sometimes it's just saying thank you, have a great day. Sometimes it's helping some old lady carry her groceries to the car. All these acts are of kindness that don't cost anything other than maybe a little bit of your time. And I'm probably going to get some blowback when I say that I don't think a lot of the homeless should be there looking for handouts. I really don't. There's work out there. And I know that many of them are hooked on drugs, have mental health issues. But there is help out there. If they can only get directed in the right direction. It may be some of these people that could offer help. Maybe they should be out in the streets talking to them. And I know some are. Outreach programs of where people are out on the streets trying to get these people back into society and enjoying the finer things in life. Told you it wasn't going to be a long video, but it was going to be a deep one because it's going to cause you to think all day. So on that note, you guys have a great Monday, and I'll be back bright and early tomorrow morning. Again, thanks so much for watching. You know, you guys are great. That's all I can tell you.